Hello. Hi. So good morning, and welcome to the first session at NIC 2015. This is the Skype hybrid and Skype for Business session of NIC. Yay! Okay, yep. I'm back in Norway, I see. People are enthusiastic. That's awesome. So, I were at TechEd in Barcelona this fall, and I were a booth babe. Yep, a babe at the Lync booth at TechEd. And there were 3 questions that we got all the time. And the first question was, when will I be able to do enterprise voice in online? Are you guys wondering about that? When will it come? How can I do it? Yeah? Yeah, okay. No. And the second question, which I was kind of surprised. Actually, I was surprised by this question as well, because the customers are really excited about this. They are asking for it, and they want it. And the second question was, when will I be able to do video with Skype? And the good thing is that was actually launched a month later, and we're going to talk about how that works here today. And then, of course, everyone asks, what is new with the next version of Lync? Well, what happened after TechEd in Barcelona was that Lync got rebranded. Anyone know what the new name for Lync is? Skype for Business, yep. That's the easy question, like everyone should say that. Cool. And it got rebranded to Skype for Business. And the release of Skype for Business is first half 2015. It's like, but now we are in the middle of the first quarter, so maybe second part of the first half 2015, maybe. But it is a rebrand, Skype for Business. This is a new client. The screenshot I'm allowed to show you. And what does it mean, the rebrand? Well, it's a skin, really, for end users. So when they come into a business, they've been interviewed over Skype. They've been using Skype forever, like talking, multitasking, doing homework together over video and so on. They come into the business and they see this Skype client on a computer. So they instantly know it will do video, it will do voice, they can chat, they can share applications. So they expect that of the client. So the expectancy of what you can use the client for is so much higher than when you give them a Lync client. Like, what is that? What can I do with it? I can chat. It's like Messenger or something. So I believe that training can be refocused on how to do more with Skype for Business than what you can do with the client in the first place. In the Lync community, of course, we said, oh, you can't rebrand to Skype, now we need to do home support and so on, because you're a Skype guy, right? So my grandmother's cat is using Skype. It doesn't work. Can you come and help me? No. Can't. Well, it still is Lync in the bottom. It is still the same architecture. It's the same commandlets. It's the same services on the server side. And I wouldn't be surprised that the Skype for Business client.exe is still called Lync, like it was for the move between Communicator and Lync. So it's an end user rebranding, and you can actually choose if you want to use the 2013 view or the Skype view on the client, the skin. It's a commandlet you can use in order to decide when you want to rebrand your Lync client in your environment. But there are some features that's only available in the Skype for Business skin. And one of the most awesome features is call monitoring, which you actually do have in Skype. So what you see is the layout, the buttons, everything is going to be quite similar between the two clients. And the call monitoring is awesome because if you're in a meeting, you're early in a meeting for Lync, or you are starting to do other stuff in a conference call, right? Start reading emails and doing other stuff, and then the Lync window gets buried down behind all the other windows. Well, as soon as the Skype for Business client gets out of focus, the call monitoring window will pop up. It's always on top, and it will show video even if there is video in the call. So we have direct access to unmute, to change devices, and when you click the call monitoring, the Skype client will pop back up. So that's awesome, because actually it's a feature I've been missing. Sometimes people start talking to you and you're fiddling around, finding the client, unmuting yourself, spending time with that. So having the call monitoring feature is quite good. So my goal for today is to help you understand what's coming in the Skype for Business time frame. When I say time frame, it's because not everything is Skype for Business only. Some of this stuff works with Lync 2013 as well. So it's the time frame, what's new, what's coming, moving forward. And my talking points today: enterprise voice in online. Let's talk about that. And why hybrid is the end game for Skype for Business, especially for enterprises running an on-premises deployment. Video investments in Skype for Business. I'm going to talk about Skype video, of course, but I'm also going to talk about the new interoperability role, which can bring Cisco endpoints into a Skype for Business meeting. Then I'm going to talk how to move to Skype for Business, and then some other improvements in Skype for Business. Sounds interesting? Yep. Thanks. So my name is Ståle Hansen. I'm a Chief Technical Architect at Knowledge Factory. My focus is Lync, and I've been doing enterprise voice projects since Office Communication Server 2002, 2007 R2. And I'm a Lync MVP. Probably going to be a Skype MVP, hopefully, maybe. I blog, I'm on Twitter, and you also may have heard about the UC Architects podcast. It's a podcast about Lync and Exchange and what's new, what's working, what's not working. And we also talk about Office 365 sometimes. So, enterprise voice in online. What Microsoft says is that the goal is to help you gradually eliminate your on-premises PBX with confidence. So they want you to move away from having your PBX on-premises and move it to the cloud. And with confidence means we need some quality assurance. We need to know we can do the same quality as we do on-premises. So enterprise voice in online. PSTN conferencing, we have that today. You can buy it through a third party. Microsoft is going to offer their own PSTN connectivity in conferencing as well, moving forward. PSTN calling is coming to online. And it will start in the US with some beta carriers, and then to move internationally. So that's the middle of 2015, second half of 2015. And then we're going to see media delivery networks, like express routes for Lync Online or Skype for Business Online. And this is really important, because Lync Online today is a best effort service. It is consumed over the internet. You don't have any assurance of what kind of quality you can get from the service. So you need some kind of network you can hook up easily to your Lync Online in order to ensure quality and do end-to-end quality of service. This is coming to online. Departmental voice features. It's the features of voice closest to you. So you have manager, you have some more advanced call handling, call forwarding, and so on. That will be available in online. Lync Online, Skype for Business Online. And then you will have advanced voice features, more like enterprise voice features, like response groups, call pickup, and so on. So you can actually do a PBX replace with confidence with something consumed in the cloud. For Europe and Norway, I would guess it would be more like this in terms of time frame. So in 1.5 years, then we'll see what it looks like if you can do this. I don't believe it before I see it, really. But that's the roadmap I have seen. Any questions? No? Okay. So it's coming. It's going to be cool and exciting. But you need to remember that this is still online. You need to fit within the box. There is still some features that won't be available in online, like J-Link. Creating a client within a web browser that does video, audio, chat. That will all be on-premises only. Same as some of the new features like the video interoperability server, and all customization will still be on-premises. So it's still online, but you get quite a lot out of the box. So I want to talk about why I think hybrid is the end game for Skype for Business. And then I'm talking especially about on-premises. For those who need to stay on-premises for different reasons, if they want to integrate with their local PBX or have coexistent or have other reasons for needing to stay on-premises. There is something called auditorium-style meeting support. What is that? Well, think about when you do a large meeting and you have this one-to-many communication. You want to have some people use the Skype for Business client, administer the meeting, but the attendees can consume the meeting from video streaming instead of having to log on to a Lync client, enjoy the meeting, be muted and administered and so on. So when you do training or you have announcements within the organization, you have a few people joining a meeting, administering the meeting. The rest of them are consuming this through video, in a web browser, on a mobile phone, whatever. This is going to be awesome because this has been requested for quite some time. And it really makes it more easier to do those kind of meetings, and webcast, and Lyncast, and Skype for Business cast, and Skypecast, and whatever. So I'm really looking forward to this feature. And then, of course, you have the large meetings. Microsoft wants to build that in online and have you consume that. So one thing is the streaming of video. The other thing is having lots of participants, more than 250, joining a meeting and being in the meeting. So that is something you can consume from online as well. And then you have your typical hybrid scenario with Exchange, unified messaging, all the features that are within Exchange. And you still can do split DNS domain name. So that's really the only reason you want to do a hybrid today. Is really, there is no reason to do a hybrid today really for Lync, because it's just namespace, and usually, especially in the Nordics, you have a Lync deployment that can handle all your users. So there is features coming that you want, which is why you want to do hybrid. And then I am speculating. It says on the slide, pure speculation from Ståle Hansen. So this is pure speculation. Because video streaming, I was looking at Office 365 videos. Anyone try that? No, there's a new feature in Office 365 where you can have YouTube in Office 365 internally. And that is consumed through storing data in SharePoint and streaming it through Azure Media Services. And I'm guessing that the reason you want hybrid is because this Azure Media Services is going to be used a lot. Stream to any device, stream in any size, and so on. So all the transcoding, everything will be done in Azure. So these are slides taken from the Office 365 video presentation. Okay, moving on. Video investments in Skype for Business. I think it was last year at Nordic Infrastructure Conference I talked about how video works within Lync 2013. In Skype for Business, it's the same. It's the same codec. It's SVC, and you have multiple streams to different clients, like HD streams for those requesting that, and low-grade streams for mobile devices, and so on. And if you are not viewing video, then there will not be sent a stream to you. So that's the same. So now we have Skype Video Federation, which I'm going to talk about first, and then Skype for Business Video Interoperability. So, Skype for Video Federation. What are the feature sets? Well, it's called Lync Skype Connectivity version 2. It was released in December. It worked, and then it stopped working because there were some issue with the codec in the Skype consumer client. So, but now it's working again. If you download the latest Skype Windows client, you can do video between Lync 2013 and Skype. It's peer-to-peer only, so no meeting join. They can't join meetings because it's an entirely different protocol. It's an entirely different way of joining a meeting. So right now, they are negotiating and talking about what codecs they want to use and what kind of video they want to use, and then they do peer-to-peer streaming. You still need a Microsoft account. A Skype user enabled or connected with a Microsoft account. What does that mean? Well, for Skype, or sorry, Lync or Skype for Business to find the Skype user, since it is still using the old public IAM federation way of doing this, we need to find a domain that we can find the Skype user on. If you just type a name, it doesn't know where to send the request. So that's why you need to have at Outlook.com or Hotmail or whatever. So it needs to be connected to a Microsoft account. Unless you have the Skype for Business skin, and this is another reason to moving to the Skype for Business skin, is that there you have another pane where you can find a Skype user based on Skype ID only. And it utilizes Bing search, so it will search for the Skype client, and then you are able to do video and calling and chatting and getting presence from that user. So it's going to be easier, because telling someone that you need to connect it with an MSA account, like, Okay. Like, that's not easy. It's too hard a prerequisite, but lots of people have done it. So, how does this work? Well, Lync 2013 and Skype for Business clients now support Silk. Silk is the primary audio codec in Skype. So Microsoft has taken the audio codec in Skype, put it in Lync, and Skype for Business. So it's not only RT audio anymore, it is Silk as well, in peer-to-peer calls. So when people talk that, oh, the codec for Skype is just awesome, well, the codec for Lync and Skype for Business is just awesome as well. Yay! And on the other side, you have the Skype consumer client for Windows, which now supports H.264 SVC, which is the video codec used in Lync and Skype for Business, which now is moved over to Skype. So there's stuff happening here. There is different architectures, but they can do a lot with the clients. And it also does media relay through the edge server. It does ICE negotiation. That's how we can do peer-to-peer video and audio. It's still the same public IAM federation as today. So if you had Skype integration enabled before, you can now just start doing video. So it's the same process for enabling it. The public IAM federation integration, you need to register your domain at Microsoft in order to do this. So that's why it works with Lync 2010, Lync 2013, and Skype for Business. Client support. The thing is, Silk has been in the Lync 2013 client for quite some time. And it's now also supported on Windows 8 app, on Lync Mobile. Actually, quite some versions ago, Mobile 5.4, we are now on 5.7. Web app. Web app is a web-based meeting join client for Lync and Skype for Business. Not supported. How many of you are using Mac? Lync? Yep, not working there either. Sorry, guys. So who thinks the Mac client is awesome? No one. Well, the thing is, I can say this, that Microsoft is working on it. They are doing quarterly updates to the client. And there is also a remake of the client coming in late 2016. Yay! So there is a roadmap somewhere here. On the Skype side, of course, you need the 7.1 on the Skype desktop client, and the other clients may come sometime as well. Here's one important part. You could do connectivity and voice between Skype earlier as well. The thing is that media actually went through a gateway which was based in the US. And which meant that until now, when you did Skype calls in Europe, you actually had to send media to the US and back. So the quality probably wasn't that great. In version 2, since the Skype client now supports media negotiation, it will do the most optimal media path. Either direct connectivity, if the clients are on the same subnet and not behind a netted firewall, or through route media through the edge server, either in online or on-premises, in order to do media. So now the media stream and media path is local to you. So that makes video better, audio better in the Skype integration with Skype for Business. Any questions? Okay. Anyone want to know about video interoperability server role in Skype for Business? Anyone care? Yep. Thanks, Rune. Okay, you guys like, not sure. Okay, it's a new server role in Skype for Business, so I have to talk about it. It's deployed on premises. It's a separate server role. It cannot be co-located. And think about it as mediation server for video. Everyone here knows what a mediation server is? Yep. Like where you connect your Lync environment to your legacy voice system, the PSTN network, and so on. It requires a zip trunk integration with Cisco Unified Communications Manager, which means that you need to have that deployed in order to do this, to create that zip trunk. Not with VCS, which is the most common gateway to manage Cisco devices today. So you need to move to the Unified Communication Manager. It's limited to VTCs within the organization. No edge traversal, no subnet traversal. You need to do direct connectivity. So you need to be in the same network. How it works is that the VTC, which is the video endpoint, sends signaling through their Unified Communication Manager, which then zip trunks over to the video interoperability server, which again sends that into the AVMSU, and you're available, and you can join a meeting. And then media is sent directly to the VIS server, which that is why you need the direct connectivity and need to be reachable and routable within the network. And it doesn't support transcoding for RT video, so this will not work with Lync 2010 clients. A better picture here is that the endpoint sends video, and the interop server will transcode this into SVC from AVC from the other side. So it's a video transcoding server, and it will send the different video streams to the clients requesting it, like you have in a normal Lync meeting. How about hardware requirements? Well, they are between a mediation server and a full-blown Lync front-end server in terms of hardware requirements. It all depends on what kind of utilization you want to have, how many video streams you are expecting, and so on. So it's a video transcoding server. So between 8 to 12 cores of CPU and between 16 and 32 gig of RAM. And hopefully there will be a sizing guidance at some point. End user experience. So VTC needs to join the meeting, dial into the meeting. So you can't drag and drop an endpoint into the meeting. You can't call a VTC through this from a Skype for Business client. And so the VTC dials into the conference auto attendant, which is the phone number you see in your Lync meeting invite. Drag and drop not supported, and it needs to be initiated from the video endpoint. So when you want to join a meeting, you find your email with the number, and you dial the number on your video endpoint. You get the option to authenticate as a leader, probably, and you get prompted for a conferencing ID, like when you call in and join a meeting by GSM. So then you dial, push the buttons for the conferencing ID, adds the hashtag, and it joins the meeting, but this time not just with audio, but also with video. And the experience is, as you see in the picture, it is current speaker only. And there is no application sharing. There is no meeting option sharing. So it's only current speaker. And it won't see any more video streams than one. It's like a 2010 experience. But it solves the problem by having video endpoints joining a Lync meeting. And then you can consume meeting content on your computer or whatever. Supported endpoints. Cisco Telepresence Codecs, C series, MX series, EX series, and SX series. And these are supported right now, and more may be supported when Skype for Business reach RTM. And this is the release feature set, and Microsoft will update this continuously. So other features may be available in the future. So why only Cisco into this scenario? Well, Polycom have their own native interoperability, so you don't have to create a server role for Polycom. They do lots of type of integration, have a richer content sharing capability, and also you can do multiple video streams. Lifesize RadVision has not updated its supportability in years, so they are right now out of the picture. What about Acano and Pexip? Are they supported in this? Well, it's not applicable to Acano and Pexip because they are their own media conferencing units. They are their own gateway, and they don't have any endpoints in this scenario. So the video interoperability server is free. It will do transcoding of video. Anyone remember the advanced media gateway from Cisco? That was expensive, like $1 million or something. But this is free, and it works. And it's a start. It suits those customers wanting to move to Skype for Business, but also want to keep their investments in video rooms. So this is an option. If you want to know more about the video investments in Skype for Business, I really recommend the blog post by Jeff Schertz and Adam Jacobs. They were really thorough, and some of the pictures in the slides were from their blog post as well. So really recommend those. Well, let's talk about, by the way, are there any questions? Yes? Your question was integration with H.265? Don't know. So right now it's SVC and yeah. Any other questions? Okay. So who is ready to move to Skype for Business at day one? Everyone, yay! So, got a Lync server 2010. You need to migrate to Skype for Business like you always have. Got Lync server 2013. You can do in-place upgrade. So the first time in the history of a communication server, you are now able to do in-place upgrade. Yay! It's the most requested feature every time. How can I move to the next version? Oh, you need to have twice as many servers in parallel, everything. And yeah, we need to spend half a year migrating your users and so on. So now we can do this within minutes. It's going to be awesome. So, what's the migration path? If your requirement is you can't go offline, well, you can't do in-place upgrade. In-place upgrade means removing the old stuff in with the new stuff. Right? So, if you have an SLA, you need to have full functionality and a 100% working rollback strategy, well, then you should still migrate. But if you have a pool of users and you can schedule downtime, then you can do in-place upgrade. So if you have a pure 2013 environment, you can do in-place upgrade to Skype for Business. 2010, migrate. If you have both 2010 server and 2013 server, then you should move to 2013 and then upgrade to Skype for Business. There has never been support for having 3 versions of a communication server within the same environment, so still not supported. And if you still have Office Communication Server, well, that's impressive. So in-place upgrade, what is it? You upgrade from Lync Server 2013 to Skype for Business using existing hardware. For the first time, it's the same hardware requirements and the same architecture full out between 2 versions. So it's the same hardware requirements. So a front-end server needs 32 gigs of memory and 12 CPU cores. It's the same for Skype for Business. The benefits are smoother upgrade process and reducing overall costs of the project. Hopefully, if it works. And the goal is heading towards smart setup. By what Microsoft means is that the installation wizard and setup wizard for Skype for Business is even better than 2013. So it will check for updates. You will always install using the latest bits, which you needed to patch in the previous versions to make sure you have always the latest released features. So the upgrade path, and this is important. If you have a disaster recovery setup with backup pools, in-place upgrade is not supported. And you can't take them out of backup pool configuration and then upgrade one of them and put them back. It's not supported. Don't start services in mixed mode, and ensure minimal time when different pools are on different versions. And as usual, inside, outside upgrade. So start with your front-end pool and then move out to the mediation server, the edge servers, and so on. So if you have 2 sites set up today with standard distance servers or 2 enterprise pools, 1 in each data center, you still need to migrate. Or you could, of course, rip and replace, but then we'll have downtime. And I'm guessing the reason you're having a backup pool and so on is that you have a higher need for uptime. So it's not applicable in every scenario. And how you do it is that you use the Topology Builder. You had some, okay, let's use the Topology Builder and mark the roles as Skype for Business roles. They will be upgraded, and then you publish the topology, and then you put in the media, and it will start working. And SQL support. On the front-end servers, it will uninstall your existing SQL 2012 and install SQL Express 2014. So Skype for Business is based on SQL 2014. And Skype for Business is also the only server supporting SQL Server 2014. And you now also have support for SQL Always On, which have been a big ask, and that's something that SQL guys like, why? Why don't you support it? Well, now we do. Yay. And it's the latest high available architecture for SQL, so you can do that now. But you still can do mirroring and clustering. The upgrade process. Step 1, install prerequisites. Always install prerequisites, right? That should work fine. So you need to have CU5 or newer. And you need to have the right PowerShell, the right SQL version, and some hotfixes. There's probably going to be a script for that somewhere. And then in the Topology Builder, you right-click and tell it that you want to upgrade to Skype for Business. You will get a new branch within your Topology Builder where you get your Skype for Business servers, and you publish the topology and make sure that CMS replicates. With databases, you need to do the update CS database commandlet, which is also done through Topology Builder in order to get the latest SQL databases. You stop the services on the pool you want to upgrade, and then run setup.exe. So this is, since we don't have access to the bits, I can show you some screenshots and PowerPoint animations. So you check for updates on the smart setup, click next, and so on, downloads the next version. And then it will do this for you, automatically. What it does is uninstalling everything that's Lync 2013, and then installing Skype for Business bits. But it's so simple, you can just sit down and watch. And those I talked to that have done this says it works quite well. So we'll go through everything, updating, installing, and so on. I'm finished. How cool is that? It's too easy, really. It's, yep. And then you start the services, and then you're done. Right? Well, I would recommend testing it in a lab first. Really. So, and do have a fallback strategy. And you still need to plan for the upgrade. You still need to have backup of your Lync environment, and you should have a rollback strategy. What if this fails spectacularly? What happens? Do you have a spare server available, or what do you do? So, smart setup. Setup is getting even better, and I thought Lync 2013 was good. This is even better. And the thing here is, it will install the updates prior to installing, because in 2013 you needed to install using RTM, and then you patched before you did the rest of the install. And you need to have a conscious move and conscious action on that. Any questions on the in-place upgrade? Yes. There is no schema updates. So no schema updates in the in-place upgrade. Yep. Was that a question or a comment? Question. So if the installer have a rollback, I haven't seen it. So I'm guessing if it fails on 90% or something, like back in the NT days, you needed to wait for a day or something. I don't know, really. Haven't tested it yet. And but you really should evaluate rollback strategies. Because if it has gotten far enough, it will have removed everything you had. Uninstalled it, removed it, so then it needs to reinstall Lync 2013, and maybe you should do that using the Lync wizard. Other questions? Yes? So if it changes Active Directory, no, it doesn't. Everything happens in the CMS and on the database level. And that's the beauty of Lync. It's not that many attributes really in Active Directory anymore. So, but again, I haven't tested it and don't really know how the rollback is. But of course, you can have coexistence with 2013. So you should be able to install 2013 on the same server if this fails. Other improvements in Skype for Business. We talked about the Silk codec. And the thing is, it's not only used for Skype integration and Skype video. It is also now the primary codec for peer-to-peer calls, Lync to Lync, or Skype for Business to Skype for Business. So it now is the primary codec within Lync and Skype for Business. And one other feature we shouldn't talk too much about, but is quite something you really want, is shared conversation history. Anyone used a Lync mobile device and chatted and so on, and then lost some chats, and you went into your inbox in the conversation history and it wasn't there because the clients had their own conversation history? Well, it's now shared. Yes. Across all devices. And that is a time frame upgrade and not a Skype for Business upgrade, really. Because it's the mobile clients that needs to be updated. SQL always on, of course. We talked about that. And then patching. So patching in Lync 2013 is quite an interesting process. And there is a lot of room for failure. You can forget stuff and so on. So Microsoft have worked with simplifying the patching process. So patching in 2013, you see the schema here, and it was reliant on too many variables. And especially if you had an enterprise pool with 3 or more servers, you could really screw this up. You can bring down one server, and users would get poor user experience. They could be logged out and so on. Because it was based on upgrade domains and upgrade readiness states. That's also very unreliable. And then, of course, it was based on Windows Fabric version 1, which also was unreliable. And Windows Fabric could move replication over to a front-end server in a shutdown state. And which means that you store contacts and do all the present stuff on the front-end servers. And it uses upgrade domains in order to have multiple servers having the same information, but never more than 3. So if they're moving around on replicas, it could move to a server that was in a shutdown, and the users wouldn't get too much use of that. So there were too many variables, and worst case, you can run commandlets that would screw things up even more. So there were room for failure here. So not enough safeguards. Load balancing continued between servers not available. Idle secondary bug in Windows Fabric. Maybe you have seen this or felt it. And so, of course, incorrect use of commandlets could screw things up. So then we move from this process to this. So patching is going to be simpler, easier, and as Microsoft always says, easier, more productive. So what is it? Well, it's based on Windows Fabric version 2, and which means that it's smarter in terms of where it places its replicas. And now the process is that you invoke CsComputer failover to fail a front-end and take it out of production. Then you perform the patch, and then you take it back into the production, and then move on to the next server. So what it does, it will do all the checks for you. It will do the upgrade readiness state. But the thing is, with Windows Fabric version 2, is that it will take it out of production and not being part of the replicas of the contact list and so on. And it would stop if something weren't correct, if there were errors regarding the replication between the front-end servers. Today in 2013, you need to check that yourself and manually understand why you should wait for replicas coming back up. So now you have a commandlet doing this for you. It's called automation. So you stop services after successfully deactivating. And then you patch and so on. And then you start the services. And you activate the node with Invoke-CsComputer FailBack. But you only should do this on one front-end server at a time. So the goal here has been to reduce the time on a 12-pool front-end, 12 front-end server pool from 8 to 12 hours down to 3 hours, just cycling through the front-end servers. So it's more reliable, and it will work better. But you need to use the commandlets. If you do it through other settings, it wouldn't work. And don't do it on more than one server at a time. So this means the worst thing that could happen on an enterprise pool if you brought down a front-end server was that you weren't able to start the services again because there were loss of quorum. But this process ensures that quorum is okay and Windows Fabric understands that you want to take the server down and patch it. So patching is going to be more fun. Yay. Okay. I talked about Enterprise Voice in online, which it's coming. It's going to be better than expected. It's going to use the cloud features you have from Azure and so on in terms of having a pipe into online where you can have more reliable connection. I think hybrid is the end game for Skype for Business, especially on-premises deployment. But the thing here is that you have no multi-tenant of Skype for Business. So you need to have one-to-one relationship if you want to do hybrid. So that's why you may want to do a separate deployment per customer or per hybrid setup. Video investments in Skype for Business. It's the same, but more. So we have Skype video working, and you have this new role for free called the Video Interrupt Server. And you have now in-place upgrade. And you have other improvements in Skype for Business, especially the patching process. There's also a lot of other small features that will be revealed during the next months. So my goal was to help you understand what's coming in the Skype for Business timeframe. Hopefully I will have succeeded with that. And with that, I want to tell you to enjoy Nordic Infrastructure Conference these 2 days. And thank you for attending. And please evaluate the sessions throughout the day. It's really important.